Hello and welcome to Home with Sarah Jane. In today's video, I am sharing my Amazon lately. So the items that I have purchased on Amazon recently that I've really been enjoying. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Sarah, and although this video is not about homeschooling, I am a homeschooling mom of two girls, ages 12 and 15. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by once again. I do really appreciate you. So today I'm sharing an Amazon lately video. These are just items that I've purchased on Amazon recently that I've really been enjoying, and I thought that I would share them with all of you. Now, if you've been on my channel before, you might recognize a couple of these, but I did want to add them back into this video because I, for one, did purchase them just recently, and another, sometimes I like to have certain items like in one spot, if that makes sense. So I'm not just sharing items in like random videos. I'm also like kind of putting together a video of things that have been useful, helpful, or that I've been enjoying. So let's kind of jump right into it. I don't have too many. I've been trying to kind of calm down when it comes to spending money because the holidays are coming up, and I have already started, you know, like my Christmas shopping and all of that. So I'm trying to keep some of the other purchases at a minimum, but I still have found some really neat things over the last, 4 to 6 weeks on Amazon that I have really enjoyed. So we're gonna kind of start in like a kitchen area. And the first thing that I have been really enjoying, that I was surprised for the amount that I paid for them, are these KitchenAid attachments. Now, I purchased both, I think it's called like a flat beater and a dough hook, because my current like dough hook and flat beater were chipping, like that coating that's over them started to chip off, and I didn't want that in our food. So I tossed those and I ordered these ones. These weren't that expensive. Again, we've only had these for about 2 weeks, so I can't give you like a long term, these are fantastic, but so far they fit my really old KitchenAid perfectly, and I have ordered some in the past that did not, so that was a bummer, but these ones have been working really well. And again, both of them were less than $20, so I did wait for a sale, you guys. So there's that. I'm not quite sure if they're still under $20, but I will link everything that I'm sharing with you down below in case you're interested. But that is like the first thing that I've really enjoyed, because I use my KitchenAid all the time. If I don't have the right attachments, I can't use it the way that I want to. So being able to find these pretty inexpensively was really important. I make a ton of bread, so having that dough hook was something that I really was interested in. Now, the next thing, I have my list, sorry if I keep on looking down. The next thing that I've been loving, okay, this one is probably one of my favorite ones for the kitchen, is this oil dispenser bottle. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen these all over, and everybody's like, oh, these are so great. You know what? They are. I love them. I love this so much. I kind of bought this on a whim. I ended up having like a gift card to Amazon, and I was like gonna treat myself, and what I ended up treating myself with was this oil dispenser bottle, and it has been working so great. I mean, it sprays the oil, you could pour the oil. It's just so fantastic. About this thing, I know it's silly because it's just an oil dispenser bottle, but it has been working out so great. There is one thing though that I wanted to mention about this bottle that I don't really care for, because I feel like you're hearing a lot of these people saying it's fantastic, which it is. It does what it's supposed to do, and it does kind of take a lot of like having all those different kinds of like spray oils and stuff like that away, where you could just use whatever oil you want and pour it or spray it. So it does do its job. I really don't like the handle on it though, you guys. There is something with the handle on this oil dispenser that just feels like it's going to either break, or that it's kind of cheaply made. Even though the bottle itself is glass and the dispenser and the sprayer works really well, the handle feels flimsy. So I do kind of want to point that out, just in case any of you buy it and you're like, this feels flimsy. Like, why would you recommend that? It does do its job, and it does work really well. It's just the handle that's a little bit off. I still don't regret purchasing it. Like, I would purchase it again, how much I've been liking this, but I do want to mention that because I do want to be honest about the products that I share with you on here, at least, from the best of my knowledge. And for me, the handle just feels a little bit flimsier than the rest of the product. So the next thing that I purchased is actually something I've been wanting for a while, and thankfully I haven't had to use it, but it is an emergency fire blanket. Now this is something that I am keeping beside my stove in my kitchen, and what it is a fire blanket that you can use if a small fire breaks out. So I've been wanting one of these, like I said, for a while, and every so often I will kind of do like a emergency supply update, or I will add something to our emergency supplies or stockpile. And this year I decided on the fire blanket. I do not regret this purchase either, because it does make me feel better having something like this. And we do have like, what are they called? I almost said a fire hydrant, you guys. That's not what it is. What am I talking about? Oh, a fire extinguisher. We do have fire extinguishers throughout our home, but the fire blanket is like meant to be like less messy. You know, it is meant for like smaller fires, obviously, but I'm just saying, you know, I feel like it's easier too, that you could just open up the fire blanket and throw it on. So I don't regret this one either, you guys, and I'm really excited to have one of these in my kitchen. I would like to get maybe one more to put upstairs. I do not have a stove upstairs, but you know, just in case. I'm one of those people, I like to have things just in case. I'm a planner. So I would purchase another one of these, but again, I try and do things like that a little bit at a time. Now, the next thing I do know I've mentioned on my channel before, and that is grip sticks. The reason why I'm mentioning them again is because I had purchased these, I think back in July. I originally purchased these in July, but I have purchased another set, you guys, since then. And not because they broke, it's because I use them so much. I love these. I specifically love to use these grip sticks for items that go in the freezer. I was finding that like our blueberries were getting spilled, or, you know, our vegetables were, you know, when you try and twist it and tie it off, like it just wasn't working out for me doing it like that. So I started using grip sticks in my freezer for all of like our mixed berries and frozen, you know, all of our frozen stuff basically. And my freezer is so much cleaner. So not only is the product working, but it's keeping my freezer cleaner in the long run because things aren't spilling everywhere because they're not closed. So although these are great to keep your food fresh, I'm really enjoying them in my freezer right now. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be giving grip sticks to people for Christmas because that's how much I'm loving them right now. I know it sounds like a silly gift, but you know what? It's one of those things that you may not buy for yourself, but if you gift to somebody, they would end up loving it. So you're probably going to see grip sticks on my channel around Christmas time as well, because I just feel like they are fantastic inside the freezer, outside the freezer, anywhere that you use them. So again, I've purchased them twice now, and we're just really, really liking them. And they're easy to use, you know, it's not like my kids can't use them, you know, so they are really, really easy to use. Ooh, this next one, you guys, I really love as well. I can't remember if I've shared this on my channel or not, but I have purchased these multiple times over the past few months, and that is popsicle bags. So I've been freezing everything in these popsicle bags. I mean, I made like a big batch of smoothies, and I put the smoothies into these popsicle bags so that we can have these on the go. They've just been working out so much. We've made our own homemade popsicles. You know, sometimes I'll just put lemonade. Like when it was kind of warm out, I was putting like strawberry lemonade or regular lemonade into these, you know, popsicle bag mold thingies. And it was just so refreshing. So I've really been using these for all different things. And right now, like I was saying, I'm currently using these popsicle bags for like smoothies for on the go. These are like a really good size for my youngest daughter as well. And my oldest daughter, she's not really like a fruit person. So when she drinks a smoothie, it's not typically a lot. She'll have like a little bit and then she doesn't want it anymore. She's definitely my vegetable kid. So yeah, so these have been working out really, really well. And we really like having these on hand because again, I will freeze everything. I mean, I've even put like leftover chicken broth in one of these and then just, you know, pulled it out and reused it in a recipe. So I've been using these for everything. The only thing is just make sure if you're going to do that your kids know that some of them are chicken broth or, you know, lemon juice or whatever. And they're not over there having like a chicken broth popsicle. But these have been working out really, really great. Been loving them. Now, the next thing is not very exciting, but it is large bottle brushes for 5-gallon jugs. So we do still have a like hot, cold water dispenser because in our area, you cannot drink our tap water. There was one point where we used to turn the jugs in and just get new jugs that were already cleaned and filled. But there was a couple of times that there weren't any available where we would normally pick up the water or switch them out. and we still needed to drink water. So I told my husband, why don't we just switch to filling the bottles ourselves and cleaning them ourselves? It doesn't take a lot of time. My husband maybe goes to get water maybe once a week, once every, week and a half to fill these jugs, but every time he goes to refill them, he can now like scrub them out and clean them. So again, these aren't the most exciting, but they did work really well. They are like flexible and they bend and stuff like that. At least the bottle brush head of it does. And the one I purchased, it did come in a 2-pack. So we do have one for now and then one for later. So the last few things that I wanted to talk about are just kind of random things that I've been enjoying, not necessarily kitchen items, but the first thing is something I mentioned before, and that is my printer stand. You guys, I've had this printer stand for a little while now, not like a long time, but I've had it for a while now and I'm just loving it. I love that it is small enough for this space, but then if I need more, space to work, it has this slide out table. And I really love this feature because I don't like having the table out all the time because this room is a little bit smaller. There's so many books in here and it already looks like there's like so much stuff in this room that just having that table out all the time could just make it look even more cluttered to me. But I like having the option of having more workspace in here because I do a ton of my printing and planning and, binding and stuff up here. So I love that this has a table that goes in and out. It's been really sturdy for my size printer. I've really been enjoying it. And honestly, this is one of those things that my husband has been telling me to buy for like a year. And I was like, no, I'll get it later. No, I'll get it later. I should have just bought it when he told me to the first time because he was right. I really needed a printer stand because our last one, our printer would shake because it technically wasn't like a printer stand that my printer was on. It was like a utility cart and it would shake and it made me really nervous. And then I bought the stand and I don't have that stress anymore. So, and I really like it. But this printer stand has been fantastic. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about is something I didn't know that I needed, and that is my quick cart. I love this thing. It does fold up so you can store it easily, but it's a good size. You could hold a good amount of things in here and it is just so convenient. I take this everywhere with me. I have a lot of books. I donate a lot of books. Putting those books I want to donate into this cart and just, rolling them in to the donation area has made it so much more simple than me trying to box everything up and carry everything. I love this thing. And I don't just use it for books. I use it for a lot of different things. So if we want to go to the park and kind of homeschool in the park, because again, I'm a homeschooling mom, I could take this cart with all of our stuff in it. I don't have to carry it on my back. I don't have to carry it, in my hands. It's just been so convenient. I've even used it at times to, go to the farmer's market and places like that. It's something that I would take when my husband wants to go to a car show, things like that. So this cart is just so convenient for so many different things. And this one specifically I purchased because it does fold up because we don't have a ton of storage in our home. So being able to fold this up and kind of slide it behind something has really been convenient. But we are really loving the quick cart. Not just me, but my husband likes it as well. Even though he may not admit it, I know that he does enjoy the quick cart. Okay, the next thing I wanted to share is something kind of silly as well. So I went on Amazon and I found a remote cover that glows in the dark. So what I ended up doing is I got a few of these. We do have different types of remotes, so I did have to get, different styles of these covers, but it does make it easier to find your remote. So I don't regret this purchase either because it has saved us time when it comes to finding the remotes. So again, it's like a luxury. It's not, anything you need, but it's still useful. Okay. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about are these desk chairs or computer chairs. I purchased 2 of these, one of them a while ago, and then we kind of liked it, and then I purchased another one for my youngest daughter. Both of my kids have desks in their room, and I wanted to get them some kind of chair, and I knew I wanted the chair to have like arms for them to rest, but I didn't want like a large chair. So these chairs are not super big. They were inexpensive when I purchased them because I did wait for them to go on sale. They've been working out really well for my kids. Now, these aren't meant specifically for children, but again, my kids are older, so I have a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old, but these work really well for both of them. And for the price, I just felt like this was a really great purchase. And this way, my kids aren't trying to take my dining room chairs up into their room to use with their desk. So These worked out really, really well. Again, I haven't had them like for a super long period of time. They do work really well. My kids love them, and I now have all my dining room chairs at my table. So there's that. So one of the last things that I wanted to talk about are these wireless earbuds that I had purchased for my husband in December of 2022. I had ended up putting these into his Christmas stocking. And the reason why I'm mentioning it now is because I did actually have to buy a replacement for this product within the last 2 weeks, but not because the product broke, but it's because my husband accidentally dropped them off of a roof. He's a solar foreman, so it makes sense for him to have been on a roof, but he accidentally dropped one off a roof into bushes and he couldn't find it. So I just ended up replacing the earbuds for him, but he had these earbuds for almost 2 years without any issues, and we did not pay a lot for these. These were really inexpensive. I did buy them on sale both times that I had purchased them, but they worked really well for us. We're not like super like name brand people. Sometimes these things get broken, lost, left, dropped. So I try not to, you know, spend a ton of money on something like this, but we were really surprised. We were really happy about how well these worked and for how long they worked for what we paid for them, if that makes sense. But I did get him another set because he did drop those off the roof, but he's still enjoying them, you know, and we really didn't pay much for them. So I thought that these were really awesome and I wanted to mention them. Okay, and then the last thing that I wanted to mention is very similar to those wireless earbuds, but it is a wireless headset that I had purchased for my youngest daughter. Now, I was actually pleasantly surprised with how well these worked for the price. So again, this was something that wasn't very expensive, but works really well, easy to use. My daughter loves them. So I just thought that this was great. They do come in a couple of different colors. She ended up getting the blue. She wanted like the dark blue version of this headset. But so far these are working really, really well. Again, we've only had these for about 4 weeks, but we haven't had any issues with them, and my daughter really, really loves them. But that is it. Those are my Amazon lately favorites. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by. You have a great day. Bye.